Welcome, dear students. The current session focuses on semantics and the historical development of a language. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would be able to understand what do I mean by semantics and what is its significance in the study of a language. We would also particularly focus on English language and see how, the semantic development took place or why it is significant to study the semantic changes in English language. To start with, my dear students, we need to think about what is semantics. And then we would try to relate it to, the next question, that is, what does the semantic development of a language mean? Well, my dear students, if you look at the screen, you would find a strange word written here. This is an ancient form of the ancient Greek word semantikos, this word. And what does it mean? It means significant. This is from where the word semantics has emerged. In linguistics, semantics is the subfield that is devoted to the study of meaning. Meaning that is inherent, at the level of words, phrases, sentences, or larger units. Let me clarify here. Semantics, in the simplest form, if I tell you, is the study of the dictionary meaning. In other words, the literal meaning of the words. So, when I, for example, use a word where I say, as a teacher, for example, a student enters the class very late, and I say, I'm glad you are on time. Actually, when I say that, what do I mean? Well, practically in that situation, the student and the rest of the class and I, all of us understand, actually, I am criticizing the student for coming late to the class. But when you look at the dictionary meanings of these words that come here as an utterance or a sentence, I am glad that you are on time. The meaning is, I am happy that you have come to the class on time. So, this is the semantic meaning. The first one was the pragmatic meaning. Semantic meaning deals with the literal meaning, the exact meaning as it would be found in dictionaries. Semantics is also closely linked to the subjects of representation, reference, and denotation. Oriented to the examination of meaning of signs and relations between different linguistic units and compounds, semantics actually provides us the details of what in language refers to in the outer world. So, homonymy and synonymy, antonymy and hypernymy and meronymy, these are all different, areas that are studied under semantics, which means, what do we study? We study how words are similar in meaning, how they are opposite in meaning, how one word has more than one meanings, how more than one meanings can be conveyed through one word, and how words oppose each other, how they support each other, how, they relate to one family or one group, etc. A key concern is how meaning attaches to larger chunks of text, possibly as a result of the composition from smaller units of meaning. Each word would have its meaning in the context of the sentence where it is put into, but that meaning is what, is the literal meaning of the word where we focus on, not the meaning that the speaker intends to convey. This leads us to the question why the study of meaning is significant in the history of a language, and I would also particularly focus on the history of English language. Well, in every language, meaning keeps on changing through the times. Over the time, the meanings change. There can be internal or externally motivated reasons that would bring that change. There can be different types of changes in meanings. However, notice this term, semantic shift. That is the easiest way to refer to a meaning change, which would cover all the types of changes, be it, an extension or whatsoever. I would give you a quick example here. Look at the Old English word fair. This is how it was written, by the way. Fair in Old English meant fit or suitable. Then it came to modern English and it means pleasant or enjoyable. Then its meaning was further changed to beautiful or pleasant in conduct. And actually from this second modern meaning, fair got another meaning that means just to be impartial, not taking sides, to be fair, for example, in deals. Whereas the first meaning continued to develop in the sense of, light complexion. So if somebody has a fair complexion, it means somebody has a fair, means lighter complexion, a whiter complexion. And the third form that arose out of this, the use pleasant as average and mediocre. He is a fair candidate, for example, for some position, which means he is an average candidate for that. Or he only got a fair result in his exam. This also is an example for that. Another example that I would like to quickly share is from the Old English word lewd that was written like this, which originally meant non-ecclesiastical or lay. However, it changed to uneducated or unlearned through the times. And from this, gradually, the meaning again changed and it developed into lower class or vulgar. This was not the end. Through the times, it changed to, somebody with bad manners or ignorant, gradually shifting to sexually insinuating. So, there were certain changes in the meaning of the word through the times. And, studies in semantics would deal with all that. Another quick example is of should and would in Old and Middle English. The word should was originally in past tense. It was used in a meaning, for example, in Beowulf's texts, we'd find that use. And it was used in the sense of destiny or duty or obligation. Here is an example from Beowulf's text. I cannot, of course, read this, but I'm going for the translation. That was not the first time that it had to perform a deed of valor. It had to perform, sense of responsibility. It was used in the sense of that. Another example, again, I'm focusing on the translation. When he had to fight the dragon, obligation, in the sense of obligation, it was used. By the way, this is should, if you could not notice. This is how it was written. Another example, again, notice the use of should, and the translation says that the king's son was destined to prosper. So, in the sense of responsibility, obligation, or, destiny, this is how it was used. I hope by this time you would be clear about what is semantics, and how it is important or significant to study language from the perspective of semantics to see how historically meanings evolve, change, and differ through the times.